So are you like holding your pants and your wang?
Well,
like holding
I have two hands.
I know, but that's what I'm asking.
From a wang.
Are you holding?
Sorry.
Wait a second. So are you holding your pants like the top? Are you holding it with your left hand?
Now I feel like I have to turn around and pretend I'm at a urinal.
It's the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Alley.
I'm recording.
Oh my God, we're here. It's the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. I apologize. I didn't know we were rolling.
Oh my God, hello.
I could have been knuckles deep in my nose and not even realized it.
That's the best part of the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Especially watching it.
So,
which you can do on Spotify and YouTube.
Right at the end of our radio show, before we're doing the podcast, Allie told me it's acceptable for men to give a thumbs up in text, but not acceptable for women.
Wait, no, I said dads.
Oh, okay.
That's the difference. Dads can do it.
Okay.
Yes, but okay. So what about him?
I did not know this, which spawned something for me. Did you know etiquette at a urinal? There is some
1, 3, 5 rule.
Well,
I know this.
Yeah, there's that. But what do you do with your pants?
I'm so glad you're actually bringing this up because I have something for the female bathroom about this.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
This is how we sucker you in for a good 30 minutes.
I assume.
Start right hot.
You have to. Right in the pants. And this is especially, I was showing Scott the Dude Wipes commercial.
Yes.
Off the air. It's so funny. I laugh at it every single time.
It's going to have to do with that in a minute, but carry on.
I assume the pants stay up at the waist and you have to have the smallest opening to get it out because you also don't want anybody looking over you. Am I right?
Well, it's kind of right. Okay, first of all, I personally stand in awe of the men that can use just the zipper effect and the little hole that they sew into the underwear. You know, I stand in awe of that because I am just one of these people. I'm like,
I'm too well endowed. I can't get it through that hole.
No, it's one of these things that, okay, at a urinal, you have that option.
Uh-huh.
You have the option of, you're right, the pants are mostly up, but the opening is there. I mean, you wouldn't see this because there's sort of a divider between the urinals.
Not always,
but many of the times. But the one thing you're not supposed to do after the age, I'm going to say, of 10 is let your pants drop to your knees.
I assume it's hard, though, because if you're unzipping, unzipping, you have to stand wide, which you guys naturally kind of do anyway. You have to stand wide or your pants would fall down, wouldn't they?
I guess it's like tying a shoe. You kind of get the hand movement down of where to hold and what to do.
So are you like holding your pants and your wang?
Well,
like holding
I have two hands.
I know, but that's what I'm asking.
From a wang.
Are you holding?
Sorry.
Wait a second. So are you holding your pants like the top? Are you holding it with your left hand?
Now I feel like I have to turn around and pretend I'm at a urinal.
And then holding your wang with your...
It's just... Okay, so I had to think about this
or
for a
is
second.
it that you're holding your hog with both hands, but you got your pinkies like on the zipper part to like kind of keep the pants up?
No, it's just sort of a... okay, so I guess when a man unzips his pants, normally they don't just fall right to the ground. Like that's almost a comedy routine.
That's why I said you must have a wide stance.
No, it's not even that. It's just sort of, I mean, you know, I don't know how to describe this except
I'm waiting.
Kind of this hand. All right, so I'm right-handed. So this hand, this is my left hand. This would be holding the pants, you know, kind of in that position. Either way, the whole thing is, since we were talking about things that, you know, you can do at the end of the show, if you're a dad, like I can send a thumbs up emoji, but, you know, the ladies can't, or it looks snarky. I was going to share with you that you should not let your pants drop all the way to your knees or the ground.
You still didn't answer the question.
And that doesn't include the underwear either, by the way. What?
So the answer is that you kind of have a wide stance, which prevents the pants from coming down.
But it's not really a wide stance. Like I said, I can unzip my pants right now. They're not just going to fall to the ground.
Because you guys also...
I guess there's sort of a wide enough stance.
Generally, I bet you don't even notice that you have this stance. Because even when you just did it here on camera... You kind of stood with your legs apart.
Okay, maybe a little.
And also, most guys are really narrow in the hips unless they're kind of built like a woman, Which is funny because John Mulaney has, in one of his stand-up specials, he talks about being built like a woman because he's kind of got a dump truck. And, I mean, you don't, Scott. So you have no butt to hold up the pants. You have no hip to hold up the pants. So that's why you have to have that wide stance.
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I mean, it's not like I'm standing looking like I'm doing jumping jacks, but yeah, I see what I see where you're going.
Well, anyway, so in the girls' bathroom the other day, some chick, and I don't know who it was. I didn't know who I was sitting next to. Puts her pants all the way down. I was like, whoa, what animal raised you? No, we keep ours like above our knees, close to our thigh area.
Even if you're doing a dookie?
Yeah, it's for all transactions.
No, for the men's room. No. In the men's room, if you're
Number two.
If you're in a, shall we say, good sitting, they go right down to the ankles. And part of the reason
you guys are always spreading.
Yeah. But part of the reason for that is that's got to be a real confident move that it's not a little bit more messy than not, and you might need. I mean, see the positioning. If they're partway up, you could get some mess on that if it was a messy one. And I've heard that ladies' room. There's far more messy ones than not.
Where is this poo flinging out of?
Just in general, like, oh, hold on a minute. Are you all sit wipers?
Yeah. What are you doing?
You're kind of off the can a bit to get the proper wiping.
Yeah, I like lean.
Yeah, no, that's not going to do it. You're not getting a good swipe. You got to kind of be up and over.
I bend.
If you're just leaning one cheek up and giving a wipe, that's not doing enough. No, you're not getting it in there. You got to be kind of up and almost like you're doing a wall sitting, and then you lean over and get it in there. Yeah,
I could not do that.
Stick that ass right out. And you don't want to know why? Because you're really getting it clean at that point.
I couldn't do this. I feel like I can't reach because if I stand up, then I'm like, then my butt is really going out.
Maybe it's the way men and women were trained differently. Like, I don't know how it is, but that you can do that. But no, the guys have to elevate off the seat for a proper wiping, and then angled.
Or how we're built. But I also am not putting. I'm not putting my pants on the ground of a public restroom because do you know how sticky and disgusting those are?
They're not really all the way on the ground. You have shoes and stuff on. Your ankles should be the support from them hitting the ground.
I still feel like it's too much in the zone. It's in the splash zone.
Well,
so no, thank
you. Once again, we come back to what is happening in that ladies' room.
I have had a pee that was so strong that when I peed, I'm peeing down. But depending if the bowl is like even a more shallow bowl, all of a sudden it's like splashes back up.
Oh yeah,
I like when you say that like you know. You don't know.
That's like when you get the dookie that drops in the toilet and gives you a splashback. It's like a little bidet for free.
I hate that.
I know, that's the worst.
Because I cannot go if I have to go number two. I always pee first. I don't think I've ever not.
Oh no, I pee after.
I don't think I've ever not peed. A pee is always going to be in this transaction.
Now wait a minute. Yes, me too. But wait a minute. So you're peeing before you dookie? Mm-hmm. Oh no! Again, this is the separation of the sexes. It's pee after the deuce drops for the guys.
Okay, why?
I don't know.
I mean, mine's
Feels
like
better?
kind of like mine is like the appetizer to the main event, where yours is the main event first, and then it's like,
I don't know. Maybe it's again the way we're built. Maybe that pressure releases, and then the remainder of it just goes. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just so weird.
Wow.
And
the things you learn. This is where we call it the Not For Air podcast because we probably would have never gone here on the show.
Oh, I know. No kidding. I have a really quick question on something. This is something that I had I had my grandmother's ring that was getting the stone was getting reset.
Yeah, this is the ring that on the again back to the show for a minute. You had said that you caught it on the drawer or the lip of the. It's not a vanity. It's a
vanity
kind of makeup vanity table. Yeah,
yeah. It's an old vanity.
Yeah,
and I took it in, and they're going to reset it. I'm actually having this with two separate businesses. The glasses I'm wearing, there's usually a gold bar here.
Yes.
Well, it fell off.
She's really trying to look like Tom Selleck circa 1980.
Yes. And
you got to see her hairy chest too, just like Tom.
There you go. The gold bar fell off, and they said they were going to try to find me a replacement piece.
Oh, yeah.
So these are two separate businesses within the past 2 weeks. I have used their services. They never gave me any window of time that this would be back. I want to call them, but I don't know if I should call and be like, hey, am I going to annoy them if I say, is my stuff done yet? But I really want my glasses to be fixed, and I really want my ring back.
I don't think it's worth calling on the glasses. Number one, it makes them a little less standy out-ishy if you don't.
Oh, my God.
Keep them black. But for the ring, I think you're acceptable to call the ring. And I think for the ring, and the way
it's been over a week. I just wanted you to know.
Well, the way you do it is, I totally forgot to ask this when I was dropping it off. That's the way you go into that.
I knew you'd have an answer.
Yeah, that's the way you go into that. For your glasses, it's different. You had admitted, she admitted this on the show, and I don't even remember if you remember saying this. You said, these are a one of a kind. They the company that you got it from locally, they said, this is the only ones we have, the only ones we're getting.
Yeah.
Because nobody else wanted them. So the reality is, I think it's going to be tougher because I don't see that company rushing in going, hey, you sure you don't want a couple more of these?
We only made one pair because we wanted to test it out.
They broke the mold after these, but I think that's going to be tougher. So let's say their Izod is the company that Izod makes a lot of, a lot of glasses frames.
Who makes these? Gucci? I don't know. I don't really care.
Those are Gucci.
Gucci's.
Yeah, right.
I don't know who makes them.
So whoever made those, they're probably not running in. Carrying their latest models so that the person sitting behind the counter going, yeah, we'll take that, we'll take that, we'll take that. Oh, those are homely. Give me one of those for Allie.
She'll buy them.
She'll buy them. I don't think that person's coming in that often. You may have a long wait, if ever, on the glasses.
That's it. That's how it's been my whole life. So back in the day, my best friend was buying me a winter coat as either a birthday or a Christmas gift. And he goes,
that's a weird present from someone.
It was a vintage one.
Unless it's your mom.
It is kind of weird, but I mean, he's my best friend. He knows me more than anyone.
Okay.
And I mean, size and everything. You're right. Like my boyfriend now wouldn't buy me clothes at all. But my best friend has just known me so long. And he goes, I remember seeing it and going, this is the ugliest coat I've ever seen. Allie's going to love it.
Allie's going to love it.
Yes. And I wore it for years. I loved it. It was hideous. I wish I still had it.
Listen to the way it said, I wore it for years. It was hideous.
I loved it. It was like this mango orange bright. It looked like a Jackie Onassis jacket.
Wow.
A little itchy because in the 60s, comfort wasn't key apparently.
Little itchy.
It was. It was like this wool
It was
or
made of full asbestos.
100%. I was actually wearing the lamb from the farm. I mean, the whole all the dirt in it and everything. It didn't even, didn't matter whatsoever.
Okay.
I know, right? Okay, what was the other thing I was going to bring up to you? Oh, I had a list, a little minor list of things. Hold tight, please.
Oh, sure. Well, I was going to say, since we are right after Father's Day, I want you to take a guess at what the most dreaded, okay, this is 100% my opinion, but what do you think the most dreaded thing that a parent can do with their kids?
I mean, are you talking like beating them?
Oh my God.
You said the most dreaded thing a parent could do.
Well, I mean, my dad did say it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you.
No. Do you mean like an activity that we don't want to do?
Yes.
Oh,
okay, a beating could fall into that, but wow.
A craft vendor fair? No, I was kidding. Church?
No, none of these things are the case. And the problem is when I tell you what I think now this is 100% my opinion on this, and I'm leading into what kids want to do more with their parents than they do. Like they want to do this more. And I was so glad to see this wasn't on the list.
Okay, here's the only thing I could think of. I love doing it, but this is the only thing I could think of. So I used to date this person a long time ago. He had a kid. And his kid hated going to the grocery store. He'd be like, can I just stay home? We're like, Bryce, you're 6. No. He never wanted to go to the grocery store. I loved going to the grocery store.
Me too. I remember. I have memories of going with my mother.
I have memories of going with my mom and my grandma.
Oh, wow.
Where she would eat the grapes while we were shopping.
Sure. Anyway. No, family game night.
Really?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because you got to let the little bastards win up until a certain age.
Wait a second. Are we talking about the kids don't like to do it or the dads don't like to do it?
No, this is what I'm going to lean into what kids want to do more with their parents. This is more what parents don't want to do, like they are dreading it. I mean, you already gave me your answer. Beat the kid. I mean, that was you were on the right path.
That actually wasn't my answer.
Yeah.
But the game night, I do understand. Teaching kids a game.
How about reteaching myself certain games that I haven't played in 40 years?
Yes. Do you know teaching kids a game is like when you either get an intern or a new coworker.
Yeah.
And you're trying to teach them. You're like, I don't got time for this ish.
Yeah, I
know. But you
know.
have to teach them things. And then you're like,
I mean, I am spending my life teaching kids. Don't get me wrong, but I don't need a dedicated Friday night to do it.
Right. But that's what it reminds me of. It's like, are you really going to stay around that long? And with the kids, are you really going to be invested in this game? Because I want you to be invested.
Well, the problem also, the family game night brings out something, the desire for more of family game nights. And you're like, oh my God. Now, I will say, the exception to this rule.
Dad's like, where's family nap time?
Yeah, right. I will say the exception to the rule is we're very close to the age that it's time to bring Gavin and Lydia into the abyss of Uno. And that is the one acceptable one. But man, I mean, I remember on occasion playing like Sorry with my parents. But that was like the extent of it. We'd play Sorry and whatever. Now, I know there are people that are going to go, but I love family game night. Do you really think about this? Like you were saying, you got to teach the kids. Nobody has patience for Monopoly. Jesus.
I hate Monopoly. So I remember teaching Bryce Monopoly. I hated that.
Oh my gosh.
The other thing is I love family game night when it's me and all of my cousins because then it's like sheer pandemonium.
Yeah, but the adults can pull away from that.
Right, exactly. Melina's flipping the board because every single time she's the shortest fuse when it comes to family game night. Everyone else hates it. I love it. I secretly love it. I'm like sitting back like, when's Melina going to blow? This is
You got a timer set on your phone. Who in 10 minutes? They got the money.
Right. The other thing that I noticed too, because I was just cleaning out my closet, we talked about that on the show today, is I noticed like I love, like you were saying, Unos are great.
Yes.
Sorry. It's kind of cool. It's whatever. Right. Yeah. I love Rummy. Such a fan of Rummy.
Oh my God, I haven't played that in so long. I need a full refresher.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. King's Corners. We did a lot of cards, but now we have these new games in our closet. And I've noticed something. Zach bought me one called like How to Catch a Murderer. And it's
that tracks.
Yeah, I know. And then I have another one called Blank Slate. Another one called Hitster. All these new ones we never play. Never. No. I have a whole box of new games. It's like, let's just stick with the classics. No need to bring out the new stuff. No one wants to play Hitster. No one wants to play Blank Slate. We all want to play Uno.
Right. Uno's the one. And then they have 47 versions of Uno where you're sitting there going, really? Nobody knows the rules to begin with 100%. Now you're switching them up even worse. Here nor there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the family game night thing, I think you nailed it. It becomes real fun. I mean, it's cute for the kids once in a blue, but then they want to do it a lot. And then you're like, I just want, a lot of parents on Friday night are like, can I have a wine?
I said, where's family nap night?
Right. I love the idea of what you said. Like if it's after a Thanksgiving get together and the cousins are near an age and they can go off and do their own thing.
That way you can drink your wine. Kids can play. Yeah,
that's
I got
great.
you.
But I mean, it is kind of a dreaded thing. Now, I'm going to give you.
But wait, can I pause this for 1 second though? Yeah. But it can be really fun. You always talk about your parents doing game nights.
Not always. I remember a few times. Really? The one that was most memorable? Uno.
I thought that they did like a card night once a month or something.
No, that was with their adult friends.
That's what I'm saying.
They were enjoying some,
beverages.
Some beverages.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that I think game nights can be fun with friends.
Yes, but I want you to think sitting down a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, whatever, and sitting there and going through, you got to teach the game. You got to let them win. Somebody's going to have a thing.
You have to remember the rules.
Yeah, it's tough. And I'm not saying you shouldn't carve out time for your kids, but we're all living busy lives. I mean, you might have practices. You're doing a lot already. It's tough, right?
Right.
So I think for adults, playing with young kids can be a test of how much can you take.
I got you.
Now, I'm going to give you the things, and this is really interesting, the things that more kids want to do with their parents. And this is really cool. What do you think something is, now that I told you the dreaded thing, what do you think maybe one of the top things are that they want to do with their parents?
Go to the park?
You're close. Number one is go to the beach.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Now, I know you're not the biggest beach person.
I was
like
when I was
going
a
to the
kid.
beach.
When I was a kid, we had it wasn't a beach. It was like ghetto beach. It was called South Central. And there was
South Central. That sounds like a school in downtown Cleveland. Where'd you go to the beach? South Central. There's no water nearby there. Yeah, we went in our swimsuits anyway.
It was like basically a big glorified pond. There was sand there. They did have lifeguards, and it was in North Ridgeville, Ohio.
Can you say Park Station?
It was so much. It was kind of like, yes, it was kind of like our Park Station a little bit.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And my mom would bring a cooler of bologna sandwiches because nobody says no to a warm, slimy bologna sandwich.
And then nobody says no to the sick poops about 8 o'clock at night. Jesus.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, those were really fun memories for me.
They are, but go to the beach. More kids want to do that. Number 2, exercise together. Believe it or not, your kids want to exercise with you.
Oh, I just put this in my Father's Day post to my dad.
Oh.
So growing up, please take this advice. If I can give you any advice about parenting as a non-parent, but from the child's perspective, my dad we would go and walk around the block, and then he would start talking to me, and that's how I think we got so close.
Well, that's nice.
He would like ask questions. So take your kids for walks; they will open up. And I think that now I call my walk and talk dad. We will go on walks and talk.
That's awesome.
It is. I think that you should start, especially Gavin. Gavin's not quite at that age yet, especially when he starts to get to like 12, 13. 14.
Sure.
When you're not getting as much information, it's a good way because where else is he going to go?
Well, that's a good point. I'll give you a couple more. Okay. Play sports together. And I think that's great because I just asked.
God.
Apparently, the competitive spirit came out of all of us. I just asked Gavin's coach after the game that we had this past Sunday. We're coming up to the end of the season. Traditionally, they have done parents versus the kids at the last practice. Well, we have one game after that. So I asked Coach Shelley, I go, hey, are we going to do parents versus the kids?
You did?
Well, yeah, because it's fun. Normally, it's a lot of fun because you're sitting on the sidelines of a soccer game, yelling the whole time, "Go, go!" and you just want to get out there, and then you realize actually how tough it is,
and you want to elbow Robbie's dad.
Yeah. And you're out there, and I go, so Shelly, are we going to do parents versus the kids? Well, it got a little out of control last year, and I jokingly go, all right, I'll take all the blame for that because I may have pegged somebody with a ball. She goes, it wasn't just you. And yes, she does have a little Southern accent.
Where's she from?
I turn over to Brian, one of the other dads. I go, see, Brian, she wants to blame you. It's your fault we're not getting parents versus the kids this year. She goes, we just don't want to have them hurt for the last game. And I'm like, all right, you make a good point on that one.
But truth be told.
But it is fun. I'm not going to lie. The kids loved it. Until they got kicked in the face by a ball by one of the parents. What?
Truth be told, do you sometimes want to elbow another kid's parent?
No, that's absolutely not it. Truth be told, there are times I want to run on the field and just kick that ball as hard as I can. I'm like, how did you miss that kick? Oh, that's what it is. You know?
That's like my dreams of driving on the NASCAR track. I just want to drive where I don't have to hit the brake. Yeah, I understand that.
Go.
You just want to get on the field and just...
Yep. The next one, go to the pool, very similar to the beach. I will also say play at the park. That's similar. Go camping. Love this one. Go to the movies. That's easy. Better than family game night. Take a day trip to the zoo, museum, amusement park. Always a memory there.
Yes.
Always a memory there.
Oh my gosh, Cedar Point. We always did that.
Play video games together. That is the evolution of family game night, is play the video games together, believe it or not.
Yes.
I think sitting down and teaching Chutes and Ladders or Candyland, all right, it's all right. It's going to collect dust after a while. Play video games is a big one. The last one, and this is such the sign of the times, go shopping together. But I'm not saying grocery shopping.
Yes. No, I love going to Target with Gail.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And TJ Maxx.
I mean, because she's buying, right?
That's right.
Well, in all seriousness.
And also, my mom was the one person growing up that she'd be like, that doesn't look good. I'm going to tell you the truth. No one else will tell you the truth. Your mom will tell you the truth.
Oh, she will. She'll let you know.
I also want to say one other thing about why I loved going to an amusement park with my parents, because my mom, super organized, and she had the game plan. We're going to do this, this, this. My dad,
he's the big kid.
Yeah, very laid back.
Yep.
He doesn't care about a plan. He just is like, Gail, do your job.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that helps because, sometimes there's parents who are like super high strung, real yelly. I can imagine a kid in that situation would hate to go to an amusement park or any kind of situation with their parents. I think you always have to have you have to have like a type A and type B parent to
you
balance
almost
it out.
need a mix, one that's willing to be more, and it has to be fluid.
Good cop versus bad cop.
Yeah, and at certain points, it's going to change. Like at certain points, I'm okay. I can't do roller coasters. I can't really do any amusement. I can do the flume still. Believe it or not, you know,
What's
where the
flume?
log ride where you go down the log ride and it splashes the water.
Love that one.
I can do that. I can do all the water park stuff. I can't ride many rides anymore. It just gets me. It's weird, but that's where it would step in. So if it was my significant other, 6059, and I taking the kids to an amusement park, she's going to have it very organized, and that's awesome because I'm going to be like, let's go, you know. And then there are certain things, and she loves roller coasters. I can't do it anymore. You're right. It's a fluid back and forth, but she's probably not going on the water park stuff.
Okay.
I'll go on that. So,
you know what's also funny about that is, so growing up, none of my friends' parents, I remember going to like an amusement park and riding the rides with their kids. My parents did, which was unusual. Now parents, I feel like, do it all the time. Like
I think you're holding on to that.
It was the same. Growing up, you never saw an adult play on the playground. They were
You still
there.
don't. They all walk around the playground like their kid's going to suddenly drop out of the play thing there, and you're going to catch them? Like, really? I mean, that's what builds a little bit of character, is a fall from 8 feet up.
You know what I love seeing?
Not really.
I love seeing a parent get on the swing. Like,
I
love
now
seeing
that's
a parent.
good.
Like, I just like to see them, and maybe not involved for a long time because you get tired. But
No, parents today, this is what it is. And my mom never did this. My mom would sit at a table with my aunt and they'd gossip all day long or talk about all their medical stuff. Now parents are doing this. They're walking around the whole time, and they're trying to make it look like they're not. And admittedly, I did this with my oldest daughter. I probably did this when they're real little and getting used to it. I understand you've got to see them build the confidence, but it gets to a certain age. Back off. I mean, I hate to say it, but a fall from the third step, as long as they didn't break something,
right?
You gotta get a bump and a bruise once in a while. I'm not encouraging hurting, the kid getting hurt. I'm just saying, I mean, this is what kind of makes life.
What it is, right, exactly. It's those mix mash of things where it's like, oh, you didn't fall off the top of a slide and it shows. Or your parents never left you at home by yourself and you threw a party and it shows. Wow. All those things. Like, Scott, you got in trouble, I'm sure, with Rob and Jeff and whoever else. Like, there's certain things that you did, and I think that's what makes you the person you are. You meet some folk and you go, yeah, it shows that you didn't live life.
Yeah. They're going to struggle later. That's going to be the problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You pass it on to your kid. Yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
I mean, I get it when they're little, but I'm just saying, the bigger they get, you got to let them go. We have to go.
Yes.
I cannot believe we are slammed against the clock here like this.
Yeah. We have a meeting.
Go figure.
Yeah. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Alley Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.